Funny seeing you out here. It's mud season. It's kind of hard to see a lot of people out here. It's pretty empty. But I have some great ideas on how to train productively through mud season. Sometimes it's hard to roller ski. Got the just enough snow to make the roads terrible, but not enough to ski. Sometimes it's hard to motivate. It's freezing cold, kind of dark. And sometimes it's just muddy. And you just are out there slipping and squalling, and it's a great way to get hurt. But I have some great ideas. One of which is learning where to roller ski. I'm out here on a rail to trail system where it's kind of flat. I don't really roller ski here that often because you need some hills. It doesn't look anything like a Nordic trail, but it's a sunny part of the valley. What you can't see is there's a big solar farm right there, which means it's drying out. So there's snow on the ground, but this is dry pavement. Well, wet, but not snowy. And I can come out here and work on some very specific things and still be productive and safe. I'm not on a road. I'm about 20 minutes from the roads I normally roller ski, so a bit more driving, but that's okay. I can be out here, be productive. It's middle of November. So let's do a few drills out here. One of the great things about long, flat straightaways is you can really slow things down and isolate movement. You're not worried about a big hill. You're not worried about stalling out because it's too steep. And one of the things I do is really exaggerate my poles. I get them up. I really get my hips forward. I pretend there's a string attached from my hands to my hips. So you pull down, kind of pretend there's a backboard. They bounce back up, and when they come up, you start bringing your hips up. I like to exaggerate that motion because out here I'm not worried about slowing down too much or losing any momentum, and then I can work on having that motion be nice and big when I'm actually racing. And when you're racing, you're not exaggerating, but if you train yourself what it's like to feel like you're way out and up in front and on top of your skis and your poles, then all of a sudden you'll be in a race when you're not thinking, you're focusing, and you have that motion big and strong. Another drill I like to do, especially when I have a bike path to myself, it's a great width that's a little wider than you would normally ski if you were on snow. And I like to use that width to really drive my glide. In a bit related to having your poles exaggerated up, I like to V2, and I like to see how long I can glide on that ski till I'm all the way at the edge of the bike path. And then I pole plant, and I see how long I can ski on the other ski to the other side, kind of exaggerating the glide. Well, as you can see, I need to be doing those drills. Got a little work to do. It's not the smoothest thing in the world, but it's a great thing to do out on this long, straight 2% grade climb. And then I'll jump on skis and it'll be great. You can see it's already almost snowing here. Well, almost snow season, but not quite. So another great activity to do for roller skiing during mud season. All right, next one, here we come. Alrighty, we just roller skied on a flat, sunny rail to trail. We did some technique work, some ski specificity. Now we're gonna do an uphill bounding workout. This is great for mud season. This trail is prime muddy, slushy conditions. So I'm gonna use poles. I have good running shoes on, and we're gonna go up this hillside on switchbacks doing 30, 60, 90s. It's a great preseason race tune-up workout that allows you to really focus on explosion and power, but also have some ski technique and use your legs and your arms so you're not just frolicking in the mud, running around on other trails. The workout starts at the same point. I'm gonna use the bottom of this hill. I'm gonna keep my water, my layers down here, and I go 30 seconds as hard as I can, bounding up the hill. I'm gonna use whatever I can, mark that spot where I ended that 30 seconds. Recovery is walking back down to the same start. 60 seconds up the hill, bounding as hard as you can, mark that spot, and then walk back down, and then 90 seconds up the hill. At that point, take 10 minutes, that's a set. Then you're gonna take 10 minutes to walk around, come back to the start and do another 30, 60, 90, just noticing where you finish. Ideally, you do as many sets of these as you can, as long as you're finishing in front of or at where your first set started. That's where you mark that first set. As soon as you end up starting 30 seconds and no longer making it to the original spot, or the 90 seconds and you're not able to make it all the way to the top of the hill, you've lost a little bit of the energy you had at the beginning, and the workout's over. This workout's hard. It takes about 10 days to recover, so do this at least 10 days before your races. Let's do it. All right, well, thanks for joining the session. I sure feel activated. I hope you feel tuned up when you do this as well. I might have to hit the gym for a little recovery spin and some core this afternoon. But another great muddy season, muddy session. Of course, something else you can always do is just hit the gym, get on a stationary bike, and crank out some hours. It's not the most fun, but a lot of have a little movie screen or whatever. You can put your phone or your iPad up. A lot of people who've injured have known this routine quite a bit, or ski erg. But really what I do is I come in and I might do a half and half. Maybe it's just ugly running, so I'll come in and do a 45-minute stationary bike and then do a 45-minute run. Get in 90 minutes total, but not have to spend 90 minutes soaking wet, cold, and mud. I also always do a stationary bike as a warm-up to strength. I really like to focus on all of the things I can do for injury prevention and really maximizing season preparation in the gym at this time of year. So one of the things, come in, warm up, and then I get out. Any PT I have lingering or any drills I've learned over the years, I like to just really hone those up in addition to a normal strength maintenance or extra core, and really take advantage of mud season, if it forces you indoors, to make that extremely productive. One of my favorite drills I've been working on this fall that I haven't really done in any other videos or any other strength routines is a lot of Bosu work. I really like these half Bosus. You can do a number of things on them. But lately I've been focusing on a lot of fundamental positioning, balancing on one leg, really good alignment through your weight transfer onto that leg. And then I use my heel, really forcing balance here, and I try and do the front, side, and back touches on each side. Coming down to the front, down to the side, down to the back. And really, this is a single leg squat with balance and coordination, always even it out. But it's really helped me develop which side, or identify which side is weaker. If anything, maybe I'm really off balance and I have my weight back. Maybe I prefer having my weight forward, which you really need in Nordic. But it really has helped me strengthen up my knees, really work on that alignment down the side of the leg you're standing on as if you're gliding on a ski. And then you add this extra challenge or strain. You can also do this with a slight weight vest, or even sometimes doing the old Kleiber exercises of holding a weight and moving that weight around and really throwing off your center of gravity with that weight and really anchoring down on a gliding ski. You're about to be on snow so soon, so really get that dialed. Another thing I like to do during mud season is kind of prepare my fleet for the season. One thing that saves me a ton of time is zeroing the fleet, kind of taking a scrape job and a brush job on every single pair of skis, and then I look at the base, inspect them, kind of decide what I need to do, if any work, and then I wax every single pair with the same type of wax. It doesn't have to be expensive race wax. It can be a basic blue or a red, whatever conditions you expect you'll have pre-season or early season. And that allows you to then have the equal comparison when you jump back on your skis. You can start to gauge, again, your race mindset, your understanding which skis are good for what. But this takes time, and it's a great activity to be productive towards the race season during mud season when it's harder to train at times. And then it saves you a ton of time once you hit West Yellowstone if you're going to the festival, or if you hit an early season race and you've touched your skis, you know what they're like. Especially if you have new skis, this allows you to then prep those skis, get a bunch of layers of wax in, figure out whatever your new ski protocol is, and do all of that ahead of time. Then you hit the snow and you're ready to go. It's a great activity. I'm doing it in my driveway. There's kind of mixed snow and mud right now, as you've seen in the previous video. But this is something I really like to do to get ahead of myself. It's productive, it does help the race season, and it's unfortunately a huge part of racing is equipment management. So, thanks so much for watching. I hope you got a few ideas on how to productively train through mud season. See you on the trails. Freaking private jet.